The funny thing is, the life that you don't want is the cheapest life that you could live. um, I say that because I was walking in New York City last night, and I was walking in the West Village, and I was like walking through Soho. Maybe I was like walking through Greenwich Village as well, and I was meeting up with my friend. And me and my friend don't drink, and we don't do any drugs, don't do anything, and I'm grateful to be sober yet another day. And I'm 4.5. I keep saying the wrong numbers. I'm almost 4 years sober, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm grateful to have gone through addiction, and I'm still going through addiction today, and I'm in recovery, making myself a better person and being the best person I possibly can be every day by the grace of God. And so I've grown this new perspective on drinking and doing drugs. Obviously, I could not drink and do drugs normally in one way or another. It just was not in my genes to do that because I'm an addict and alcoholic. But I've also noticed that even in the most normal people, that drugs and alcohol holds them back just as much as it kind of holds back addict or no, let me not say that. Drugs and alcohol are just not good. Like, they're not good for anybody's life. Like, no matter what you say, no matter what you think it's doing, it's not doing anything good for you. And I was walking through the city, and I was walking past all these bars, and there were so many people in there, and I'm not going to say that they're successful or not successful. They just don't live the life that I want to live, and they just don't have the things that I want to have in life, and they just aren't anything that I want to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've also lived the life that I don't want to live as well. And today, being sober, I kind of can see it, and I know when I'm at a line of the things that I actually truly want in my life. But even sober, I've lived and worked at a 9-to-5 that I completely hated and had to fill a void in my heart by doing either sex or making a lot of whatever I had to do to fill a void I was doing. So I much relate to these people, but they were off work, whether it was finance, whatever they do, and they were in their like suits and stuff, and they were having drinks. They were having drinks with their coworkers, and there was also people. I was like walking in Washington Square Park with my friend, and there's people shooting up heroin. There's all these things, and I started to think, and I started to really evaluate, and said, you know, the life that you don't want is so freaking cheap. It's so cheap. It's so cheap to get a drink, but it's the most expensive thing in the freaking world. You know, it's so cheap. It's so cheap to poison yourself. It's so cheap to see a new reality that isn't real. It's so cheap. It's like $10. It's like $5. It's like $15, but it costs you everything. You know, after a night that you go out drinking and have the time of your life and get drunk and talk to a bunch of girls or talk to a bunch of dudes, whatever you want to call it, or whatever sins that make you feel good, or whatever your vice is that fulfills you in life, quote unquote. It's like you wake up the next morning with 10 times more anxiety. And for some reason, everything feels freaking worse. And then you have to go through a whole day where you're like your brain is half working. And I think about that like, dude, whatever you're going through or whatever you went through now is 2 times worse because you drank and did drugs. Like, your life, you perceive that you're somehow healing yourself. You're somehow putting a Band-Aid on the pain, and like you're managing your pain. You're like some like chemist. Like you think like, oh, I'm like my own doctor. Let me just medicate myself. And I've thought of this, and I've done this, of course, myself, because I'm an addict and alcoholic, and I just kept medicating myself, thinking, oh, this is going to be the answer that helps me out and gets my mind off this problem. And it's just like, let's say that we had a bathroom, and the bathroom started having like pipe leaks from the toilet and from the thingamajigger, the toilet and the fountain. where you wash your hands and shit. I don't know. I'm having a brain fart right now, but. And on the pipes, there's a leak, so then you put some duct tape on it, and it stops temporarily. And instead of calling a plumber, you don't call a plumber. You just keep putting tape on this every single day. Let me just put tape on it. And it stops the leak temporarily, maybe a couple hours, maybe a day, maybe two, and then it starts again. And then at a certain point, after you stop tending to it, it will start again, and it will flood your bathroom. When you could have just called the plumber and been like, yo, I have a pipe leak, and yeah, could he come fix this real quick? Blah, blah, blah. And then maybe it cost you a couple dollars, and yeah, you would have had no problems moving forward. But now, since you tried to mask it and run away from the problem, and you thought you were saving time, you thought you were fixing the problem, even though it's temporarily, you really weren't, like, at all. And now you have a bathroom that's flooded, and it's costing you 10 times more. And I think of that just like drinking and doing drugs and running away from your pain in 5 or 6 other different ways. And I've done it all. I'm not saying that I'm not subject to running away from myself, because I do it all the time. I do it all the time through work. I do it all the time through money. I do it all the time through sex. Try to do it all the time through sex, but let's say I'm trying to stop that. But but you're getting a temporary solution to a problem that is bigger than you. And maybe that makes sense, maybe that doesn't make sense, but every problem in my life, I'm pretty much powerless over. Everything that happens in my life, I have almost no control over the fact that it's happening, because God's doing his will. God's doing whatever he's doing in my life to make me whoever I'm supposed to be. And the funny part of that is that I think that I can work it out. I think that I can manage the pain. I think that I have the healing serum that's going to make it all better. But in reality, I make it worse every single time. And I don't know if I am crazy or I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm just human or I'm just fried, because I have none of the answers. I have none of the answers to my life. I have none of the answers that are going to make my life better. And all I do is put myself in a jail and destroy myself in 5 different ways to make my problems worse. And I feel like I like actually having problems. I like having something to ponder on and be like, that's why I'm sad. That's why I have anxiety. That's why, this, that. This job is destroying my life. This is destroying my life. This is destroying my life. But there's nothing in life that can destroy you more than yourself. Like, you're allowing it to destroy you. You're allowing this life to have control over you. You're allowing money to get into your mind and give you so much anxiety about the future and about what you can do, what you can't do. You're allowing plans to give you anxiety of where you have to be at a certain time. You're allowing these things to happen. You're dictating your life. You're dictating the things you feel. You can choose. You have a real choice in life of the things you feel, the life you live, the person you want to be, the things you have that you want to worry about, and the things that you want to care about, and you're choosing to care about them. So I evaluate, are the things that I worry about even real? Are any of these things real? Is the life that I'm living even real? Is the worries that I have, fears that I have even real? And the fact of the matter is, it's not. Because fear is false evidence appearing real. And that's the thing that rules my world. And that's the thing that rules my emotions. That's the thing that rules everything that's going on in life, in my life, at least sometimes, where it's like, oh, I need this, and it's like, is this even real? Is this even something that is happening? Or is something I like, yeah, and It's not. It's in my mind. It's a lie. And the moment that you just sit down and kind of evaluate life and you give yourself a second, give yourself a moment to just pause and just say, what's going on? Like, what am I feeling? What am I going through? And you do this small little action of work where you ask yourself what's happening and what's going on and how could I fix these problems? And maybe you can't fix them. Like, do you ever come up with the assumption that you can't fix them, Kyle? And I can't, because I'm powerless and life is doing life on me, because life is life. And I have to get myself off myself, because myself is going to destroy myself, because I hate life. I wouldn't ask to go through anything in life. I would actually want life to be completely perfect and I'd be happy every single day. But life is going to continue to be life, and life is going to continue to be unmanageable if I let it be. And life is going to continue to life uncontrollably, and I will continue to be powerless over the life that continues to beat my ass. But is it beating my ass? Am I a victim in this life that I live and the things that I go through? No, I'm not. I'm actually the person benefiting from it. I'm actually the person that isn't a victim in the situation, and that is learning and learning and learning about things that I never would learn about, and is making me a person that I never would be made into, because these things are happening to make me stronger, make me a better person, make me more spiritually fit, more self-loving, more of a man. And for some women, more of a woman, more of a just better. This is happening for a reason. This isn't by luck's chance. You know, the cards I was dealt in my life were dealt to me because it was the cards I was meant to get dealt in life to make me who I was destined to be. You know, and I choose to play those cards how I played them. You know, I'm an addict and an alcoholic, and I can choose to drink today or not drink today. And my problems will get worse if I drink, and my problems won't get worse if I don't drink. But that's my problem. But we all have different cards, and we all have bad cards that play in our lives in different ways. It's just a matter of how do you want those cards to play out? How do you want them to fuck your life up? Do you want to continue losing in life? Do you want to continue being a loser? Or do you want to one day win and learn how to win and learn how to, I don't know, live a life that brings you peace, live and be a person that is amazing and is who you were destined to be, and lives up to the potential that you have in yourself. Because that's my biggest fear in life, not being who I'm destined to be, not ever finding out who I was supposed to be, because I ran away from myself so much and I destroyed myself so much to the point where I never could find it out. I have a choice, and today I choose to be the best me I possibly can be. And you should do the same, because you are better and more than you ever can imagine you are. And that has been proven to me countless times in this life, that I am 10 times more than I imagine. I tell myself I'm something that I am not, you know, and yeah, I'm grateful to send this message. I'm grateful to say this, and I'm grateful to be here to talk about stuff, even if somebody watches it or doesn't watch it. It's about touching one person and one person relating in a way. So, yeah.